everyone, welcome back to Louise Plus 10 and welcome to our first week of Q&A Tuesday. So thank you very much for those of you that have sent your questions in to my email over the weekend. I've got the answers right here, so I'm sure that'll be great for you to hear the answers. For those of you that did not see my announcement and the updates, you'd find that in the discussions part of my YouTube channel. But for those that haven't sort of heard about what I'm going to do, I felt that there was not enough consistency for my channel, for you or for I. So my videos are sort of dotted here, there and everywhere. And I'm sure really you don't know whether you're coming or going, you know. So I thought it would be a great idea that all my videos from now on are on a set day. So we start off on a Tuesday, which is Q&A Tuesdays. As I said, today is week 1, and what you need to do is, my email is in the About section on my YouTube page. Just send me an email with your question. The questions can be anything. It might be you want to know a tip on how to clean something. It might be about me, about my family, etc, etc. Whatever your question, just email it to me, and the cut-off point is a Sunday night, because then on a Monday I can go through the questions, answer them, make the video up and then post it on a Tuesday for you. Secondly, on a Thursday we have Clean and Gleam Thursdays, and this video every Thursday will be me cleaning, you know, doing some sort of a cleaning video in the house. It might be that you want to request me to do a certain cleaning video, or if I don't hear any requests, I shall be doing some form of cleaning in the home. And then on a Saturday we have Tip of the Week. So that's every Saturday, and I will be giving you tips. Again, it might be that you ask me a tip on how to clean a certain specific thing, or I might just give you some of the cleaning tips that I use in the home. So there's a lot more consistency this way, and we will both know where we stand. Anyway, so moving on to the Q&A. My first question that someone has asked me is, how much time do you spend cleaning? Well, it used to be about 6 hours a day, as you know, 4.5 years or so back, when I started in the obsessive compulsive cleaners. It was about 6 hours a day, and that was not in one straight go. You know, this was a couple of hours in the morning, couple at lunch, maybe a couple at night when the kids were in bed. I would say, without exaggerating, that's been cut way down to half of that. I would say probably, because you're sort of on and off throughout the day cleaning, you know, so I would probably say about 3 hours if I had to total it all up individually. But it's sort of on and off throughout the day. You know, meal times are very messy because the amount of mess after lunch, after tea, etc, etc. You know, the hoovering, the polishing, I think that entails everything. And I would say, yeah, probably 3 hours a day. So the second question is, how much time do you get to yourself? I don't think I could really class working as getting time to myself, because you're still working. But as far as time to myself as in free time to do anything I like, I would say probably night time. So after sort of 8 o'clock, when the younger children are sort of asleep, that is when I get to switch my brain off and do what I like to do. So whether that be watch a bit of telly, phone a friend, or something like that. So I would say night time after 8 o'clock. So in between 8 o'clock at night, when I go to sleep, that's when I get my cut-off point, which is fantastic, because I used to spend my night times cleaning. You know, I used to do a lot of cleaning. I used to be doing my ironing and going around cleaning other things, and yeah, but I do tend to get from 8 o'clock at night to myself. Question 3. So how much do you spend on shopping every week, and where do you shop? So you'll remember me doing a video last year, and I was telling you about, I would go to Tesco and, you know, various different places. And then I started trialling buying a few things at Aldi. And if you remember in a video last year or the year before, I tried to persuade my husband to buy everything from Aldi. because I'd heard it's quite cheap. So we actually did trial that, if you remember. Not a full shop, but we did a lot of tin stuff and lots of cereal and other various things. And if you remember me saying, they could not stand the tin stuff and other things there. And we sort of reverted back to Tesco. And what I tend to do, what I like about Tesco is I will save up the vouchers that you get all year round, and then at Christmas I get them. So this Christmas, for instance, I know I've got £160 in vouchers. So yeah, that's how much I spend on shopping. And they'll come in handy, but I must say this past 2 weeks, I've said to my husband, come on, we've got to give it a go again. Let's try and get a full shop from Aldi. So whereas I was spending 250 quid a week at Tesco, I've been for the past 2 weeks to Aldi again, and I must admit I won't be buying tins from there, and there's certain things that I wouldn't buy from there, so I would have to go elsewhere. But my shopping, and I've had 2 trolleys literally full of food, £150, and I have had to go elsewhere to get other bits. But I've only been spending about 170 a week on shopping, and it really just goes to show you it's quite worrying, really, that you are actually throwing money away sometimes, and you don't actually realise it. So yeah, at the moment I've been going to Aldi, and I've been going to B&M for like toiletries, your wash powder, because I like to use the liquid, and it's Surf that I use. And maybe I'm going into Morrison's for a few bits as well, but I'm really quite impressed actually. So yeah, I would say about 170 a week right now, and I do intend to keep going to Aldi. Question 4, what is the smallest age gap between your children? So my 3rd, 4th, 5th and 6th child, they had 11 months between them. So my 3rd and 4th, there was 11 months, and then my 5th and 6th, there were 11 months between them. And then I've got like 20-month age gaps, and then my 8th and 9th child was 13 months apart. So yeah, that answers that question. And then we have like 2.5 years between a few of them. So when I had my 9th baby, I didn't intend on having any more, and there was 2 years and 9 months between the 9th and the 10th, because like I say, I had stopped, but question 5, how old are all of your children? Okay, so right now my children are 3, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, 14, 15, 18 and 20. Yeah, so that's how old they are right now. Question 6, how do you cope with all the kids and keeping on top of everything? Okay, so I've always sort of said, haven't I, routine and organisation has always been the key to my success in running my home. So for an example, as you know, I do everything as it needs doing, to avoid sort of mass mess and the big out of control build up, but that sort of applied when it came to having the children. So a number of years ago it was quite hard. A lot of them were very young, and so for example, when it came to sort of weaning the kids when they were however old, you don't get a manual when you have your child, so it takes time to know what their cry means, and then eventually they pick up a pattern, don't they, and you know what time they're due to be fed, etc, etc. So I always knew that when I was weaning my children, they'd have some solids at 12 o'clock, for instance. That was their lunchtime. And I just used to make sure that I'd start boiling off the veg or whatever I was cooking them at about 11, so that by the time it was cooked and prepared and you come to blend it at about 11:30, you'd then have it blended in the bowl and cooled down enough, ready for 12 o'clock. So I never let it get to that stage where they're screaming and they're crying and everything's up in the air and everything's turmoil and chaos. I was just always prepared. I knew that at a certain time this would happen. I knew that I had to get my cleaning in for this time, because at this time the kids would need feeding and blah, 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 blah. So I was always prepared and organised, and you know, it really, really did help, because if you've ever been in a situation where everything's in a mess, you know, you've got to do this, you've got a list as big as your arm, and then the baby's screaming and the kids are screaming because they're hungry, you know, it's just an absolute nightmare. So yeah, organisation, routine, and I just did everything in advance, and that's how I did it, I guess. So yeah, thank you very much for your questions, everybody. We will be doing Q&A next Tuesday. It will be every Tuesday, so make sure you get your questions in. Really hope you've enjoyed the video, and hopefully we can have some fun with this every week and get to hear everyone's questions. I've loved answering them for you. Don't forget to keep tuned for the Clean and Gleam on Thursday, and I look forward to seeing you soon, everyone. Take care. Bye.